Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Raquel Witmer and my husband's bringing me coffee and he's scared of daylight something. Okay, sorry about that. That was Troy. He was nice enough to bring me a coffee, but he scared the hippie-jibbies out of me. I did not know he was coming and I just saw some man just like walk past the front door and I just like, anyway, I'm done drinking the coffee now. But that was really sweet of him. Okay, but today's video is gonna be a Q&A while I fold laundry. So I have piles and piles of laundry and I figured, you know what, let's just chat while I fold laundry. It's been a while since I did a Q&A, so I asked questions earlier and I'm going to reply to some of them. So let's get started. Okay, so back to what I was saying. If you're new here, my name is Raquel Witmer. I'm a Mennonite living in Pennsylvania. I'm a first-time mom and I do videos on homemaking and I just share tips that I learn along the way. I don't claim to be an expert in anything whatsoever, but I do love sharing what I'm learning and things that I love in this and that kind of thing. So if you like my videos and you watch them, but you haven't subscribed, I would love if you would do that. So I would invite you to watch this while you work or pull up a chair and relax. You do what you want to do, girl. Okay, first question, let's start it off easy. How old are you? I am 28 years old and my birthday is in November if you want to send me birthday gifts. Okay. All right, is having a baby after all the childless years a bigger adjustment than you ever thought it would be? No. And also another question along with that was, is motherhood what you expected? No, motherhood is not what I expected. Motherhood is a lot better than I expected. Honestly, I am a person that, I don't know why I am this way, but I feel the need to dread changes in my life. I wish I would just get over it because everything in my life that has been a big change, whether it was dating or getting married or moving or whatever it is, I have to dread. I have to go through the whole dreading stage. Why am I that way? Because it always has been so much better than I imagined. So I go in with really low expectations. I guess I hate being disappointed so much. And so I go in with really low expectations and then most things in my life are much, much better than I anticipated. Why am I the way that I am? I don't know. Anyways, but no, I absolutely love being a mom. I was actually telling Troy the other day that, or I was trying to explain it to him. With my husband, I fell in love with him over time because I really liked him, but then I learned to love him. And with my baby, it was like a complete, I totally just fell in love with her instantly. Like she was born and of course I loved her while I was pregnant, but it was I fell in love with her. And yeah, she is just the most amazing gift. So I absolutely love being a mom. Love it. Have you taken Summer to Belize yet? Summer is my daughter's name if you're new here. No, we have not taken her to Belize, but I'm so excited to. I cannot wait to take her down there. A question that goes along with that is, are there traditions from Belize that you want to pass on to Summer? And I love that question. I would say yes, for sure yes. I think maybe not a tradition, but something that I find super respectful and that I love is to address people Mr. and Mrs., call them Mr. and Mrs. If there's someone that's married, someone that's older than her, Miss, Mr. That is definitely a thing down south, like Southern USA as well, but that is not something around here. And even people around here will address their uncles and their aunts, they'll just use their first name. And I still cringe at that every time. I guess it's just something in me. I grew up it would be considered so rude to call somebody like your uncle or your aunt, just call them by their first name. And I really want to teach her, even though it's not common around where I live, I still want to teach her how to talk to somebody, how to address someone respectfully, I guess. So that's something that's a big deal to me. The next question is, do you intend to homeschool? And I would say no. I think that there are some amazing resources for homeschooling these days. I was not homeschooled, neither was my husband. And I find that while homeschooling can be done super well, and if it's what God wants us to do, we're going to do it. If it's, maybe on a per child basis, we might evaluate whether they should be homeschooled or not. But I do think that some of my best childhood memories are in school. And whether it was school programs, there's just so many things about school that I find really good, especially in a good Christian school. I would not be comfortable sending my kids to public school. There are just a lot of things they teach in public school that I don't agree with. And so I would not send my kids to public school. But if you have a really good Christian school close by, I'm really praying about schooling from now, just because it's like so far ahead in the future. But I just would love my child to be able to go to a really good school. Some of the best. So some of my teachers made such a good impact in my life, and I don't know where I would be without a few of them. Honestly, sometimes teachers can teach your children things that parents aren't able to, especially like a rebellious teen, like I was. I feel like sometimes they can, if your teacher has a heart for the Lord and a heart for the children, I feel like they can teach them things that your parents just quite can't maybe tell them. Maybe they listen to, sometimes kids are crazy. Sometimes they listen to other people over their parents. And that can be really dangerous, obviously. But if it's a really good teacher, they can just be so, what is the word I'm looking for? Good teachers can make such an impact in children's lives. And I don't know, I would love for my kids to be able to experience going to a really, really good school. And not just for the academic side of it, but also like teaching them how to get along with others and making good lifelong friends. And there's just a lot of benefits to going to a really good school. But like I said, when it comes down to it and we have to decide, I'm not against homeschooling at all. I don't think I'd make a great teacher necessarily, but I would do what was best for my child. Like for each child, I would probably decide. So yeah. Next question. Best marriage advice. So I would say learn to know your partner, like get to know their love language and get to know their personality type. That is something that has been so helpful for Troy and I, is to get to know each other's personality type, because you can just misunderstand people so quickly and by just taking like a really in-depth personality quiz or a class or something. I have just learned so much about Troy that way, and he has learned a lot about me that way. And I've understood myself, and I also understood things that might be like hurting him or offending or not just not being helpful in general, that I had no idea. Like I genuinely thought I was being helpful, or I just didn't know that could come across in a rude way. Like I was just being myself, So something like a DISC profile. If you've heard of the DISC, people also talk about the Enneagram. I'm not quite sure one of the questions too was, what's your Enneagram number? And I've heard things about the Enneagram that are like a little bit like, not something I'm gonna be involved in, maybe new agey, I don't know. I haven't researched it, but my Enneagram type, we're gonna talk about it, would be 7 wing 8. That's me, I guess. So, but yeah, I would say my best marriage advice would be, it's one piece of marriage advice, maybe not my best, but would be learn their love language. There's a book called, I'm sure you're familiar with it, but The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Check it out, read it good, and figure out what their personality is and just do it together. It's so fun. I find it fun. Some personalities are like, oh, it's so boring, but I find it fun. What do you like to do in your free time? My favorite hobby is looking for flights. Looking for flight deals. I can spend, seriously, if I have a free afternoon, I am scrolling Airbnb, I am scrolling kayak.com, I am looking at cheap tickets, planning virtual like getaways. Oh, I am constantly like, where can I go? Ooh, we should go to Bali. Ooh, we should go to Thailand. Ooh, like look at this awesome deal there. Man, we only could spend $40 a day there for Vietnam. I really want to go to Asia next time I travel. I've never been to Asia, so but then I just like, where can I go? I love to travel more than anything. I absolutely love traveling. So I love going to new countries, trying new food, culture. I just love it all. So that's my hobby. Are you a good singer? I wish I was a good singer. A good singer is kind of people that can sing really well. It runs into my family, I would say. But me, I missed it. So, although I do think that I do want to teach my daughter good music and all that. Probably send her to music camp and all that, those opportunities that I never got to do. But I think I appreciate good music, but am I a good singer? Negative. All right. So, what is something you wish you could change about yourself? Like my appearance or like my personality? Well, I wish something that I wish, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I wish that I wouldn't be so passionate about things sometimes because it gets me in trouble. Like I wish I just need to learn to control my tongue more and talk gracefully and or like speak the truth with love instead of just the truth and no love, you know. That's something I could change and I'm working on. Have you ever had other jobs? Okay, so my first job was right out of high school. I worked at like a Caribbean Tire. If you're familiar with Belize, you probably have seen Caribbean Tire. It's like a big, massive chain tire store slash they sell vehicles, they sell tons of things, but it's called Caribbean Tire. I was like a secretary. Pretty much hated every day of it. I ain't so good with numbers and things. No, but I had some really good life experiences there that were so valuable, but I had a stomach ache going to work every single day. That's not my jam, to sit behind a desk. I like dressing up and I like waking up early and dressing up and going to work. That was fun. And I like some of the interactions with my coworkers and stuff, but boy, did I hate that job. Okay, hold on one second. And then after that, I worked at my friend's business at a water purification plant. I don't even know what the name of it is, but selling purified water. And so that was a lot of fun. I got to work with my friends and we had a really good time. What's up, Andrea? Anyway, and then after that, I worked at a clinic in a different part of Belize. And I really enjoyed that. I was pretty young and pretty immature, but it was like a midwife clinic, just a small clinic in Belize, and I had some really good experiences there. I really, really enjoyed that. I got to watch a few births. I got to bathe many newborns, take care of newborn babies. That was just a really good experience. I got to work at the pharmacy. I helped with laundry, which is kind of a bunch of different things. Basically just hands-on, a lot of hands-on experiences, and it was a very good experience for me. I would have loved to work there longer, but one of my favorite things was working at the pharmacy. I also, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a nurse or be a midwife or something. And what's interesting is that I have no desire to be a nurse now or a midwife. I mean, no desire whatsoever. But I still really love medicine. Like, especially back when I worked in the pharmacy some, I would just like help out there, and I just love the medicine. But now I really don't like I much prefer natural medicine now, like, because some of the drugs and stuff are just so bad for you, and they can really wreak havoc on your body. Just yeah. Anyway, that world is just not my thing, but I do love finding solutions and finding root of the problems in health and all of that. So it's crazy because that was one of my favorite parts of that job, and now still to this day, finding things that work to help relieve pain, all that kind of stuff. I love that. So, but yeah, that was a really good experience. And then after that, I got married, and I got married and moved to the US, and I became a nanny I was a nanny for 6 years, 6.5 years before I had my own baby. So yeah, I had a bunch of different little kids, and I love each one of them really, really much. So I guess it was a good experience before becoming a mom. I had a lot of experience with babies and children before becoming a mom. What's your favorite fast food? I would say my favorite fast food is not Chick-fil-A. Don't hate me. I really don't actually like Chick-fil-A. I know it's a huge, people just love it so much, and there's so many jokes about Chick-fil-A and how amazing it is, but I feel like it has no flavor. I feel like it needs salt or something. It definitely needs flavor. I don't like the way the chicken's seasoned, but I do love, with almost any fast food restaurant, I love their drinks and their ice cream and stuff. Like Chick-fil-A has the world's best fries and a little sauce that goes with it. And their smoothies and that kind of thing, or not smoothies, but their milkshakes and stuff, delish. But their actual food, I don't really like that much. So I would say my favorite food, I really don't eat fast food, like almost never. But let me see if I had to guess my favorite fast food. Is Chipotle fast food? Kind of not, but I would say maybe Wendy's. I bet Wendy's is my favorite fast food. Correction, it's not Wendy's, it's Popeyes, KFC, or Bojangles if you're in the South. Love me some fried chicken and some biscuits. What could you give a I like this question. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation? Oh, you know what? I bet I could give a presentation on the DISC personality, like the personality test. And even the Enneagram, even though like right now, like I'm raising questions about the Enneagram, there's questions in my mind about the Enneagram. I've read some books and I love talking about personality types and that whole thing. So I think I could give a 40-minute presentation, especially on the DISC scale. I really think I could. All right, what else? What is your biggest insecurity? Oh, that's a good one. My biggest insecurity, it depends on what we're talking about, but I would say one of my biggest insecurities would be having to cook for people on a regular basis, which is kind of sad because it's like I would love to be a missionary like overseas sometime, and that requires so much. Well, often it requires a lot of like really spontaneous, like a bunch of people coming over or just like feeding a lot of people, and I would love to be good at that, but man, I'm bad at that. Like the spontaneous cooking for a crowd. Whoa, I'm not so good at that. If it's planned and stuff, I can really enjoy it. Like I love cooking food for people that love like my style of cooking. I love it, love it. But if it's just like all of a sudden a bunch of people are coming, like I feel like I can just overthink everything and have a lot of anxiety about that. And some people are just so good at impromptu, like spontaneous hospitality. And I would say I'm pretty insecure that I'm not that great at that. But I'm gonna work on it. Is what you're doing now what you always wanted to do when you grow up? I guess that's regarding you talking about YouTube. No, YouTube wasn't even a thing when I was a kid. But in a way it totally makes sense for me to be doing YouTube because as a kid, I took so many videos and like pretended that I was talking to an audience of like people. I'd be like, oh, and we're doing this today and that today, and I would just constantly be rambling, taking videos of my siblings and of my friends and just acting like I'm talking to people. And so in a way, it's so sad that I don't have those videos. I would love to pull them up. And I would just do like fake interviews with my brothers and my friends and just talking, just pretending that I'm whatever. So many videos, but unfortunately our hard drive got stolen, and so all those pictures and videos are gone. But that would be so funny because I just took tons of pictures and videos of basically like what I'm doing now. So yeah, in a way it's like, yeah, I guess I was supposed to be a YouTuber. I don't know. Did you date anyone before? Ooh, you guys are nosy. I did not. Not quite. Moving on. Oh man. Good question. Favorite character of God? I would say my favorite character of God is that he is a God that loves to redeem. Like he's a redemptive God. He likes to take broken people, broken, ugly circumstances, and he likes to turn them into beautiful people and like beautiful. How do I say this? Like just a beautiful experience, He can make ugly, hard, crusty things, and he redeems them into something lovely. That is one of my favorite qualities of God. Is that hard, ugly, sad circumstances, and he can make them into something just beautiful. So, and aren't we all kind of like that? Aren't we all like before Christ? We are all broken individuals, desperate for God, or desperate to feel whole, and God can put us together and make us whole. So that's one of my favorite qualities of God. Something you've taught your husband since getting married? Well, don't go into marriage thinking you're gonna change your husband, because that's just often doesn't work really good. Take it from someone who knows. Don't just accept your husband for who they are. But I would say that's not to say that you can definitely influence them for sure. But something small that I've helped Troy in, I guess this is such a small thing, but it makes me happy, is I've taught him to like different foods. I don't think his palate was extremely diverse before he married me, and he has learned to like so many different kinds of food. He has learned to like cilantro. avocados, spicy food. He actually, you know, what's funny is that in a restaurant now, the restaurant that I'm not really familiar with, like the food, like an ethnic restaurant, he is more he is more brave than I am in trying new food now. Isn't that cool how that worked? Cause like before I stretched, like I taught him to like a bunch of different food. Now he's way more brave, and like he'll try, like we go to a different country and stuff, he'll try things quicker than I will now. So that's kind of cool. I still have not taught him to like salt and like hot pepper on fruit, like mangoes and pineapple and oranges and stuff like that. I cannot eat citrus and stuff without some kind of salt or some kind of spice on top of it, and he just will not eat a bite. So that's something that I'm still hoping to teach him someday, maybe. Anyway, this is getting super long. Okay, the next question is advice for someone that wants to start a YouTube channel. Girl, I'm the one who needs advice. I'm pretty new at YouTube, but I would say one thing that comes to my mind is prepare for a lot of hard work. It is hard work. And also, do not compare. Comparison will just, like they say, comparison is a thief of joy or something like that. It's true. Do not compare. Work hard. Do your very, very best. Invest in classes if you need to. Don't expect to make a ton of money. It is so much work, and if you add up all the time it takes to do a good YouTube video, and with the amount of, you know, ad revenue or anything, you're just making this much money. Like don't do it for the money. Do it because something you're passionate about, and if the money comes, great. One thing that does help compensate for time spent on YouTube is sponsorships. So before starting YouTube, I was a little annoyed at sponsorships. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I hate it. I'm so tired looking through this thing. But now I understand, because YouTube takes so much work. A sponsorship just helps compensate for all the time. That being said, I want to talk to you about today's sponsorship. So one great way to squeeze in some personal development time as a busy adult is to take advantage of a platform like Skillshare. So if you're a regular follower of my channel, you may have heard me talk about Skillshare before, but if you haven't, Skillshare is an online learning community, and on this website you can find classes on all different kinds of hobbies or interests or life skills that you might want to learn. I've been taking a class on improving my YouTube thumbnails because I'm really bad at that. I also have a dream of starting a blog in the future, so I am taking a class on that. But if that's not really your thing, they have classes on cooking and how to decorate your home, how to plant a garden. There's just a huge variety of classes. There are no ads. And I find that Skillshare is just an easy thing to incorporate into your life. I watch Skillshare while I'm cooking dinner, and I can listen to it while I go on a walk, things like that. If you feel like it's something you want to check out, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link down below will get a month free trial. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. Another question regarding YouTube, or what are my plans for YouTube in the future? Honestly, I don't know, but I do know that when I find my kid or my kids to be a bother and I can't do with it, when I just feel like I'm neglecting them in some way, YouTube's gonna go, because my children, or I say children like I have multiples, I have one. But they come first. My family always is going to come first. So if I find myself being impatient with my kids, or I feel like they're a bother or something, YouTube's going to go, because they're way more important than this. So sorry for uno, because I want go. All right, next question. What is your favorite Bible passage? So I have several favorites, but one of my favorite verses is Psalms 40, and I think I'm just going to end with this then. Psalms 40 verse 1 says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew me from a pit of destruction, out of the miry bog, and set my feet upon a rock, making my feet secure. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. So that's Psalms 40. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it got really long, so I apologize about that, but I hope you enjoyed the chat. Hopefully you got some stuff done while I was working. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!